Yes, guys. Welcome. It's Vice Versa Live, and we are live tonight, Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Back again. Feels good to be back. Feels good to be here and with you guys. Um, I can't tell you how happy I am to be here, as always, to be with you guys, and it's always it's always good. And it's always good. It's always good to be here, and I look forward to sharing what is going to be one of my favorite topics. It has to be up there with one of my favorite topics, and I'm so excited to be sharing this with you today. And it is how to beat the algorithm. I will go into that a little bit later, but for those of you who weren't here last week, I went over Indeed, and I was basically showing you guys how you can optimize using Indeed. Obviously, Indeed, again, is one of the biggest job boards in the world, and many employers, many businesses, CEOs use this way to gather their talent. And last week, I was basically going through a demonstration of how you can use it. I can use it for your job searches, and how you can use it to, help you to navigate through to your career. So that was there for you guys. So if you guys hadn't seen that, then please do go back and watch it. The content is really good, and that may sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but the content is good and it's there for you. And I also wanted to go on to a little thing that I like to do, which is a little motivation to kind of just, again, ensure that, you're in and you're thinking the right things when you are applying. I think it's very important for me anyway. I feel like when you do anything, it's important that your mind is right. And I call this, what I'm going to share, you could say the platform, or you could say, I call it fully squared. I mean, to do anything, you need to be balanced. And when I think of squared and my philosophy behind it, it's basically, when you think of a square, it's got four sides, and to each side is everything is equal. So not one is greater than the other. And last week I demonstrated an analogy of, more so, I posed a question. I asked, how do you build a wall? And obviously I left it open, no response. But the only way you can build a wall is to lay one brick at a time, because you can't just build a wall. You know what I mean? You can't just, there's a wall. No, it's one brick at a time. And so when I think of the square, I'm thinking of the four sides. And the four sides are physical, mental, spiritual, and application. These four things are key when you're going to do, I think, absolutely anything. If you want to step out, you want to apply for a new role, a role that's bigger than you've ever applied before, you need these things. You want to lose weight, you need these four things. You want to open a business, it's these four things. These four things are absolutely key, and it goes and ties in to what I was talking about last week, which is to build the wall that you want in your life. You need to lay the brick, and that brick consists of, you need to be physically in the best shape. How much are you exercising? How much are you taking care of yourself, even in the midst of the pandemic? What are you feeding your mind? What are you watching? What are you listening to? Then you've got the spiritual side, for those who are spiritual, what are you letting through into your eyes, and what you listen to your ears, what you listen to in your mind, what is it that you're letting into your body and into your heart? You need to look at those kind of things. And I think even goes a step further, like what are you eating? All these things are absolutely important, because if these three things aren't aligned, it's very difficult to do the last and most important thing, which is the application. The application is the doing part. It's the doing part, the actually laying that perfect brick down first. And in order to do that, you need to have the other three things locked in. So, wherever you are, it's never too late to start. It's never too late to look at, areas of your life and see what you're doing, what you're eating, what you're letting into your body, into your mind, and really start to look at those things. And I promise you, it won't happen immediately, but constant reflection, constant looking over that, I promise you're going to start to see massive changes into your life. So that's there for you. So the topic today, how to beat the algorithm. I love the way it's come up. It's fantastic. So yeah, how to beat the algorithm. Now, the first thing that I would say is AI has been around for a long time. A lot of people are like, whoa, AI. But it has been around for a long time. And companies, job boards, they are all using it. First thing to establish is, what is an algorithm? Now, an algorithm is a code-based list of instructions that a computer uses to either solve problems or make decisions, which is the same thing. And obviously, companies use these to save time, to keep the same level of consistency, and to get the talent which they are specifically looking for. And I know hiring managers and job boards that are really looking at this as a way moving forward, and they want to move away from a person doing it, and obviously that's to ensure the consistency and the quality. You think of you doing, I don't know, something tedious, like, I don't know, like something on a spreadsheet or some paperwork. After a certain time, you will find that it will start to dwindle. It will start to, you'll start to see a almost not like a decline. That's better word. A decline in the consistency. And the thing with the computer and the algorithm is that it's following a list of instructions, and it's following it exactly to what the employer, CEO, decision maker has put in, and it is instructed. So this is all about trying to see how you can really tackle that. Now, once obviously we've covered what the algorithm is, why companies use it, I wanted to basically highlight not necessarily how you can beat the algorithm, because every algorithm for every job role is going to be different, and you don't really know what it is that it's specifically looking for. It's more of a thing of how can you be equipped so that you can actually, you can beat it, but in a say, compete against it and know what it is that they're looking for. So you're not being overlooked. That's really the best way. So I've come across 3 or 4 different things that I want to basically just cover. And one of the biggest things that will get you overlooked, especially when it comes to the algorithm, a tongue-tied there, algorithm, is gaps. You can't have any gaps in your CV. That's one of the things that you cannot have. You can't have gaps. And I know it's probably difficult to even hear that. Like, what do you mean, Simon? Like, no gaps? Like, and I mean, like, no gaps. It's obviously very difficult, especially during this time. Where the world is now, many people have lost their jobs, many people have left work, many people have, there's been many things that have happened. And, I don't want to say, I don't want to say like lie on your CV or lie on your application, but if it's a thing where you have been laid off, maybe not say that on the application. Maybe that's a conversation that you can have face to face with an employer, because obviously when you look at an algorithm doesn't understand what's actually happening in the grand scheme of things in the world. The computer only understands what it's been programmed to do, like things of empathy, understanding that we're in a coronavirus. It has no knowledge of that. So I would say if you are applying and you're looking for work and you haven't found much luck, I would say definitely look at that. In fact, I actually wanted to share a story. I was looking for work earlier last year, and what happened? I was speaking to the recruiter, and I was, good friends with the recruiter, and he told me that the company weren't interested in hiring somebody who had been either been laid off from their job or they didn't pass their probation of some sort. So they hadn't been at the company for a longer period of time. And I was very interested to hear like why he was saying that to me, because I'm like, well, were you supposed to let me know that? But it was just interesting that he shared that with me. And I was like, okay, so if that person's doing that, then how many other companies are doing that? So I would just say be mindful of that. No gaps in your CV at all, if you can. And if you have been laid off, then obviously keep that in your CV that you're still there. And if in doubt you do get the interview, then I would suggest, this is my advice, I would suggest that you then have that conversation with the hiring manager, talent manager, and then tell them, I have been, and then there's that empathy that you can exchange, and there's that connection where you can discuss, and obviously there'll be an understanding where you guys can meet. So there's that. The next one is use standard job titles. Now, this one is also very, very key. I know that there are loads of different companies that are coming up, and there are loads of different companies who are, very, very creative on how they put out a job role or how they design a job role. But it's very, very important that you research the tasks that you've been doing and seeing generally what kind of comes up within what is that job role. If you're doing sales, is what kind of sales? Because generally, if you're doing business to business sales, you wouldn't just be called a sales exec. You probably could be a BDM, which is a business development manager, which is more working with clients and other businesses. So you wouldn't say sales exec, because that means you're now putting yourself in a box that you're not really in. So I would definitely say when it comes to the standard job titles, you want to be able to do your research on the tasks that, what you've done, and then see what's the common one. I would go on to LinkedIn or Indeed, which I will show you shortly as I go to my third point, and you will use that to basically get you an idea of what that job role that you've done in the past. And again, this is something that you would only have to do once. Once you've done the research on these tasks, then you find the right and correct role, you won't have to do that again. So that's definitely something you need to do in order to make sure you're not getting cast away by the algorithm. And then there's this point here. Now, this point is, I feel, one of the most important, and this for me is the one that gets you jobs, and it's gotten me so much success over the years. So I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully I'm going to do it right. I pray I'm doing it right. Let's see. Share the screen. Share screen. Okay. Fantastic. So I'm going to show you this role, and this is going to lead on to my third point, which is to use and identify relevant skills and achievements. This one is very, very key, and I'm going to show you how you do that. So I've got this role here, which is a business development manager role for a company called Talent Pool. And let me also bring up this. Oh, in fact, let me go to this. Let's see if it goes. I need to share my. Let's see if it comes up. So when it says use and identify relevant skills and achievements, what I've done on this here, on the business development manager role, is I have broken it up into 3 areas. And these 3 areas you want to try and highlight in your own CV and your own applications. And it's broken down into hard and soft skills and achievements. So those 3 things you want to cover. Now, this is basically a really quick job description, and I want to bring up the Word document that I had set up. I wonder, okay, let's see. Where are we? Sharing, share, yep. I'm going to share my entire screen. I am. Fantastic. Now, fantastic. So here's the business development role. I've copied and pasted it here, and I basically wanted to show you exactly what it is I've done. So first thing we need to identify is what is a hard and soft skill. So with the soft skills are personal attributes that's needed for success. So if we look at this part here, you know, the soft skills are excellent communication, interpersonal skills, the successful candidate, so again, this would be ongoing client relationship management. That probably wouldn't be one. Results driven, that's one. High integrity, that's one. Working as a team, that's another one. So soft skills are skills that you've or personal attributes that have been developed, over time, or it's a natural personality trait, and that is what's considered a soft skill. A hard skill is something that you've developed through study or through a period of time during an employment. So that would be ongoing client relationship management. That's something that you could have built. Sales management cycles, understanding the sales process. That's something that you would build over time. And that's what a hard skill is. So with that being said, we have the job here as business development manager. And as you can see, they have the job description. But here is where you want to identify the soft skills and the hard skills. Yeah. And this is what you want to put in your skills section. So in your skills section of your CV or the cover letter, this is what you want to put there. You want to put that into your cover letter or into the skills part of your CV. Now, this part is key. So where it says responsibilities, with laser-like focus on the business development and sales aspects of the business, you will need to have proven ability to meet and exceed targets, identify new business leads, engage with prospects and other channels, work closely with the marketing team. All of these things here, this is what you're being, if I was to apply for this role, this is what you're being employed to do. Now, when it comes to your CV, and when it comes to your experience, what you want to put is how you achieved meeting and exceeding targets and KPIs. How did you identify? What prospects did you engage in? Who did you work with closely in the marketing team? And what strategies did you do to achieve what objective? So you see how I've highlighted achievements. This here is the part where they're looking to see in your CV whether you're capable of doing the job. And the only way you can do that is to demonstrate it. But in your CV, where else can you demonstrate it unless you've done it already. And that's why when I've said in the past, when you're doing your CV, don't write a task list. That won't let you beat the algorithm. You're gonna get discarded. What you want to do is write how did you achieve it. So in your so with your last company, if I was applying for this role, I will say, oh, I spoke to 200. I spoke to 200 leads, and out of those 200 leads, I made 500,000 pounds, and I'm over my target KPIs of 20,000 month to date. I would put that there, right in a bullet point, just like that. But what I'm doing is I'm answering this question. So that's what you want to do. When you look at the responsibilities in an application, what you want to do in all of your experiences, not just one, in all of your experiences, you want to be able to answer the question. You see, because most people who understand like the algorithm, understand what employers are looking for, they will stick just to the soft skills, soft and hard skills. But what they won't do is do this part. And this is the part that makes it real. Now, we were discussing the soft skills and hard skills before. I've also done this bit here. This bit here is really, really key. And when you are writing your skills, what you want to do is almost be creative enough to almost see it as a person. I know it's really crazy to even think that way, but it's almost, you want to imagine that, okay, I've looked at the role description, and I've seen more or less kind of what they're looking for. I've looked at the responsibilities, and that's also giving me some ideas of, the kind of person that they're looking for. And then also in requirements, it also tells you more things. So stuff like strong interpersonal and influencing skills, a strong sense of ownership and accountability. So someone who wants to take responsibility, someone who is, someone who is strong, but someone who can be accountable for the actions that they take. And I've compiled a short list of what I would see as soft skills, and this is something that I would be putting into my CV if I was applying for this role or a role like this. So you can see communication, excellent written, spoken, and communication. You've got interpersonal, emotional intelligence, working well within a team, problem solving, an entrepreneurial spirit, critical thinking, problem solving, go-getter, driven, motivated. All of these things I would be putting into the soft skills, because then I'm able to see, okay, this is the person that they're looking for. I'm almost creating a person. It's very, very weird. Obviously, you want to make it personal to you as well, but you want to try and build it up so it's like, okay, I can see this person. I can design it. It is me, but if I need to add more stuff to make myself look really good, then I'll do that. I'll do that. And then you can see in the hard skills that I put, sales skills, negotiating. You can also put influencing there as well. Lead generation, cold calling, closing client acquisition. Then you can talk about, computer skills, because you're going to need computer skills. Experience using social media platforms, which they mentioned up here. So where they said, engage with prospects, like LinkedIn, telesales, and all these other things that they've used. So you can use other CRM databases that you've used, whether it's Zendesk or Hotpoint, HubSpot, Salesforce. All of those ones I can put into my hard skills. And now what you're seeing is now I'm building a personality. And that's more kind of what they want to see. They want to see like, okay, we've got someone who's, okay, we're seeing the person that they're showing us. Okay, this person's got this skills, that skills, this skills. Wow, okay, wow, that's fantastic. Then they look at your achievements and then they're like, wow, come on, we have to get that person here. We have to get that person here. Now, when you do all these three things, and I call it three things, the soft skills, hard skills, and the achievements, I promise you the return that you're going to get on your applications, if you stick to the philosophy of quality over quantity, you're going to see amazing results in your job search and in your career, because you will definitely be hearing back from somebody if you follow it to exactly how I've said it. I've seen this; it's given me too much success in my career, in looking for work and in scaling in my career. This has given me too much success, and I know that this will give you just the same amount of success as it has me. And this is how you go about beating the algorithm. This is how you go about winning, and this is how you go about getting to the next level in your career. And in closing on that point, it goes on to my other point, which is the last and final point in this, which is avoid waffle or unnecessary talk. And the best way to do it is to follow these steps. So when it comes to that responsibility part, answer the question, because they are asking the question: meet and exceed targets. Can you do it? How did you do it? And the only way you can do that is to demonstrate that. But again, don't waffle. Keep it short. Keep it concise. If you can, keep it to a sentence if you can. That's what you want to do. If you can keep it to a sentence, phenomenal work. And that's what you want to do. Keep it short, keep it snappy. Another good thing as well to look at, I had a question from a gentleman last week on the show, and I answered like using the language from the job description. That's another good thing. So you can look at the way that they've worded it. You can look and you can see some of the words that they're using. Excuse me. And that's another good way for you to be like, okay, I understand. And you can use that same language in your achievements when you're writing that in your work history. Excuse me. And so that's that. Thank you, 24. Thank you. And yeah, that's basically how you go about beating the algorithm. And so for that point there, which is really, really good, business development, if I was to compile all of that for that role, there's no way I'm not hearing back from that role. I'm that confident because I have done all the right things. I've done the homework. I've studied what it is that they've said. I've then used my own initiative, my own brain to be like, okay, what is it they're actually looking for? And then on top of that, added my own personality, my own charisma, the thing that's gonna, make me stand out, which is myself. There's no way that I wouldn't be able to at least be in the interviewing stages of that role. And the more you practice, the more you do it, the more confident you're going to get, not just in your own application of the application, but in yourself and in the things that that you can do, which is anything. Whatever you set your mind to, you can do. If you believe you can do it, you're right. If you don't believe you can do it, you're also right. And you decide what right is for you. So in closing, I hope you guys really did like that. I hope it was, really good stuff. If you did like it and, it was of benefit to you, then please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. That would be fantastic. If you haven't already done so, leave a comment as well. That would also be fantastic. And as always, I always leave the floor, the room open for some Q&As. So please hit me with any question that you may have regarding applications, regarding anything I've said or shared today, or anything I've shared in the past. Please, the room is open, and I would love to hear from you. Not at once, guys. You're good to hear. All right. Let's see. Let's see. I'm always getting messages as well. Anything coming in the messages? Okay. All right. So I've got one. Question, and the question is, how do you go about um, finding a particular role on, let's say Adzuna or on Indeed that is more of a creative role? Um, I think with that one, it's quite an easy thing to do. It's a weird question, but it's quite easy to do. I would always search roles on Google, and obviously that will bring things up. You obviously have the um, the fields on Indeed and also Adzuna, which I will be discussing next week, because I'm going to be kind of tying in the algorithm, how to be the algorithm, and that's going to tie into Adzuna, because Adzuna has got a very, very good AI system that would be a great benefit to people if they knew it existed. Some people don't really know, but it's got a really good AI system there that basically tells you how much your CV is worth, and it compiles that with the analysis of your hard skills, soft skills against the roles that you've done. So that's a really, really good thing to have. But yeah, you've got the fields on Adzuna and Indeed to search for your fields, and then that's the best way to optimize your search for a particular role. If not, Google is the one. You can't go wrong with Google. Even Google has something in regards to like job applications that you could use, so that's also good for you. But if there isn't any more questions, and there seems to be nothing coming in, then this is where I say goodbye. Again, please share, subscribe, do everything. Your support is greatly welcomed, and I will see you all back here next week for a part 2, but with a close look at Adzuna. Okay, guys, do take care. Love you.